Oh, happy Halloween, everybody. The show's going to start in just a minute, but first, how about a special Halloween treat from two very special people? Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Kristen from the podcast Guide to the Unknown.
And I'm Liz from Ghosts in the Burbs.
If you love paranormal reality television as much as we do, then join us on Patreon for our brand new show, Dead Time, a chat about paranormal reality TV.
Each episode will dive into all things cringy, delightful, and confounding on our favorite ghost shows.
Listen exclusively on either the Guide to the Unknown or Ghosts in the Burbs Patreon. The show will live on both feeds, and you can find the links in our bios.
Subscribe at just $4 a month on either Patreon to get in on the fun and share in the riveting chills with us.
Go get the first episode of Dead Time today on the Guide to the Unknown Patreon or the Ghost in the Burbs Patreon. Happy Halloween, everyone. And now let's move on to the final episode of SCARMUTO, Scary Movie October. Where is it? You may be surprised by a little breaking news toward the end of the episode. But without any further ado, enjoy this very special final extra fart-filled episode of Guide to the Unknown SCARMUTO and vote Kamala Harris. Anyway, enjoy.
First of all, yeah, she farts so hard she rockets off the toilet. Then she lands on Ashley Tisdale and performs such a tiny fart. Hello, welcome to Guide to the Unknown, and welcome to the conclusion of SCARMUTO.
After this, it's all over.
Well, until Scary Movie 6 comes out.
That is true. I always forget about that lingering threat on the
Are
horizon.
they even going to call it Scary Movie 6?
They just call it Scary Movie.
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah. Because you don't want to acknowledge
Scary Movie 5?
You certainly don't want to acknowledge that there was a fifth one, let alone a fourth, a third, and a second.
Right.
This has been brutal. Yeah. Oh, you know what also is important? Happy Halloween, everybody.
Oh, happy Halloween.
It is literally Halloween as we drop this episode. I believe we're dropping it just one day early to make sure that we make the day. We didn't want to be without you.
Of course.
Thank you. And you know what? Before we curse the darkness, we'll celebrate the light. Mm-hmm. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us during SCARMUTO, let alone hanging out with us every single week here on Guide to the Unknown. We really appreciate it. I think that there is cause for celebration in this episode. The mere fact that we have made it to the finish line.
Oh, absolutely. What an accomplishment.
Meaning like we've survived, first of all, because this could have killed us.
Totally. Some people run marathons. Yeah. We do SCARMUTO. This is our kind of training.
This is our personal best SCARMUTO.
Yeah.
This amount of time. Maybe we could do it even faster next time or something. You know, I'm not sure if anybody else has taken up the SCARMUTO challenge. Mm-hmm. Watch all 5 scary movies and then talk about them. It's
a lot. As far as podcasters go, I did do a search and I'm not seeing a lot of people doing the SCARMUTO challenge.
It's pretty bleak.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're the only ones breaking this new ground.
That's all right.
Well, talk about breaking new ground. We've got a whole new crew behind the scenes of Scary Movie 5 once again. This happens every couple of movies where all of a sudden the bridges are burned and everybody who was working on them walks.
Right.
And a whole new team has to come in and try to make a new story happen.
Yeah.
This also, Scary Movie 5, came out in 2013, a solid 7 years since Scary Movie 4.
So you would think that they would have had the time to really hone their craft.
You could make the argument, as the Wayans did, that like trying to crank out the scary movies too quickly, it's like you gotta give us a little bit of time to craft this thing.
Yeah.
You gotta have a joke every 5 seconds in these movies. And you need society's horror films to accumulate so you have a deep pool of things to make fun of.
Right.
So you're right. 7 years, you'd think that they've got 7 years of horror films to draw from. And there was no, listen, there's never been an excuse to make one of these horrible movies. There is really no excuse for this movie to have nothing to do, say, or anything. And yet, this movie is almost white noise to me.
There are fewer horror movie references in this movie than all of the others, and yet they had more time to accumulate them.
Yeah.
Or accumulate fresh ones, I should say.
You're right. They should have picked a fresh one. Mm-hmm. This movie is I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this movie is undeniably the worst.
Oh, yeah.
This is the worst.
This was an abysmal movie. This was so hard to watch.
Yes. 1 week ago, I said the only challenge that this can possibly have is, can this be anything but the worst? And they blew it.
Yeah.
They blew it. You know they heard what I said last week.
I know. And they had time to tweak it.
Even though it was made 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
They could have gone in there and tweaked.
Yeah.
Tinkered away.
Pulled a George Lucas and fixed the movie 11 years after the fact. But no, they didn't. This is a terrible movie. This is a horrible movie. This is an unfunny movie.
Yeah.
And this is a boring movie, which is, listen, the other movies, at least they're not boring.
I would say Scary Movie 4 was pretty boring.
Oh, but listen.
But this is worse.
I think Scary Movie 4 in comparison to 5 still looks like a better comedy.
It's certainly better, yes, but it was still pretty boring.
This movie.
Yeah.
How many different sequences do they need to do that Paranormal Activity time-lapse joke?
Oh my God, I know.
They did that about 1,000 times, where it's like the VCR timer in the corner showing you that minutes are flying by as Simon Rex is fighting with, his house cleaner on the lawn.
Yeah.
And then it's, jokes about them in bed together, doing nasty stuff, and gross stuff, yucky stuff together in bed. But it's like, it's always that time-lapse joke. They probably do that. I genuinely think if they do that 3 times, they do it like a dozen.
Yeah, they do it a lot.
They should do it. Actually, talk about 3 times. I'm not a comedy purist, but like the rule of 3,
right?
Find 3 great jokes to do the Paranormal Activity time lapse.
Yeah.
And just do those.
Yes.
Don't keep going back to this. But this movie has nothing to do. It's just spinning tires for 90 minutes or however long.
I know.
This movie, it was hard for me to pay attention to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, honestly, they've all been really hard for me to pay attention to. This one was beyond the worst.
Yes.
It was terrible.
This was horrible. So
this one is a mashup of, as we mentioned, Paranormal Activity and weirdly Black Swan.
Yeah. Is it primarily and Mama?
And Mama. Yeah.
At least those are all sort of like paranormal or psychologically weird things.
Yeah.
That's the one compliment that I can give the bare premise is like, I've had major issues with like The Ring plus Signs or The Grudge plus War of the Worlds, where I'm like, these things are not chocolate and peanut butter. They just don't work. All of this is just a beige mush, but at least they're all in the same subgenre of horror.
Oh, God. William, I disagree. I would take The Ring and War of the Worlds. Or no, what was it? The Ring and Signs.
Yeah.
All day over this.
So would I.
To
be clear, so would I.
No, I know. I understand your thing about them not meshing or whatever, but I think that this is a great example of how that does not matter whatsoever. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. You might be right about that.
Like, who cares?
Oh, you may have gotten me. You genuinely may have cornered me with that logic. I think you're right.
Who gives a shit?
You got me, you dirty bird.
I know.
You finally trapped me and tricked me.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
As I always knew I would.
We're going to get into it. I should ask, do you recommend Scary Movie 5?
No, I do not. I anti-recommend it. I recommend that you stay as far away from this movie as you can. Although I have to say, there are a good amount of people who do like this movie. I'm surprised to see. Because I searched it online and I looked on Reddit. There was somebody who posted and said like, okay, I'm watching the Scary Movie movies. I've seen 1 through 4. Is Scary Movie 5 as bad as everybody is saying that it is? And there were a couple of comments that were like, yeah, it's really that bad. It's like abysmal, stay away. And then there were people who were like, it's not good, but for what it is, it's worth a watch. Like, I got some laughs out of it. I liked it better than Scary Movie 3. There are people who like it out there. So
everything has its audience. I mean, that's proof
so
enough.
I would recommend everybody stay far, far away from it. But if you're the rare person, I guess you can tiptoe toward it and you'll be safe.
I don't think it's worth a watch. Even me as like, I typically am like, if you like one thing, you got to follow through to the bitter end. I would firmly stop before this. You cannot watch this movie. You should not watch this movie.
Man.
Did anything in this movie? Well, all right, we're gonna get into it.
I think I can say nothing made me laugh.
And nothing made you laugh?
No. I don't think I wrote down any laughs.
Dude, I'm like jealous.
Let me see.
I'm jealous because I've got at least 2, I think.
Oh, no. 2 things made me laugh, and they're both Molly Shannon making a funny voice.
There you go. Molly Shannon was one of them. Molly Shannon is back.
I like it when Molly Shannon yells like this.
Yes.
That's like she does it twice, and I liked both of those times.
Okay, so Molly Shannon was just it for you.
That's what I marked down. Yes.
Interesting. I think that's fair. I almost said to Allie, I was like, I don't think Molly Shannon make me laugh.
I can't believe you made Allie watch these.
I did not make Allie watch these.
Or that you watched them in proximity to her.
Kristen, the amount of things that I watched in preparation for this podcast that we are doing right this second would make your head spin. I was running out of time. I said to Allie, once Zoe was in bed, I was like, honey, I'm sorry, but I've got to go to work.
I know. I considered doing what you've done, and I said enough.
I know. We'll get into it.
So I'm glad that you did, honestly.
This episode is not only Scary Movie 5. This is the wrap-up of SCARMUTO. So in order to do justice to our life's work,
right,
I went above and beyond, okay?
And I considered going above and beyond, and I said no more.
I think you made the right choice. Listen, this is one of those things where it's just like the things that I've seen, what's just another pile of shit? Just dump it on my head, and I'll take the hit for the team. It's fine.
Did you have to pay for them?
It's fine. No.
Good.
No, God, no. Everything's on Tubi.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it. I watched other stuff too, everybody, and we'll wrap up SCARMUTO. We're going to do it right. We're going to stick through to the bitter end. It is Halloween 2024.
That's right. This is how we celebrate Halloween.
This is how we celebrate. We respect you by hurting ourselves. So let's talk about Scary Movie 5 after the commercial break.
Okay, also, how did you find the experience of watching these with commercial breaks? In general, I had watched them on Max, where I pay for the one for us without commercials.
Okay.
And then we watched the, Scary Movies 4 and 5 on Tubi, which do have commercials. And when I went to watch 4, I wrote in my notes, but it applies for 5 as well. I wonder how watching these with commercials will affect them. Will I like them more because I have a little bit of a respite from these movies every once in a while? A chance to catch my breath and go, boy, at least I'm watching a Cascade Platinum Plus commercial right now and not Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Or will it
Thank
hurt
God
them?
someone's advertising to me instead of forcing me to sit and watch this godforsaken movie.
Right. Or will it make the experience worse because it's prolonging them? And I found a little bit of both. I was happy for the chance for escape, but also I was like, this is still going on. How did you feel?
I will say, I think ads don't bother me as much as they bother a lot of people. I know that you really hate ads. I get it.
I hate them.
I get it. But like now, listen, we're on Bloody FM. We've had to evolve our business practices for Guide to the Unknown. We've got ads on our show.
I understand them.
I can respect the place that ads serve in trying to keep the things that you like alive.
Totally.
Okay. The only time that ads bother me is on YouTube, because I pay for YouTube. So anytime I'm accidentally on a different account and it gives me an ad, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's white noise to me. Don't care. But I will say in the case of Scary Movie 5 specifically, and this is partly because of the tone of Scary Movie 5, I thought this movie felt like my entire life was dripping by.
Yeah.
One water droplet at a time. This felt so long, so slow. This felt endless.
I know.
I paused at one point thinking I was about halfway through the movie. I was 20 minutes into the movie.
I know. At one point I paused and I was like, oh, it's probably like 10 minutes until it's over. And it was like 40 minutes until it was over.
It was like it was genuinely like brutal to discover how little time had passed.
I'm so thrilled to not watch these movies anymore. Thrilled to be done.
This was
this is a true celebration both of Halloween and the fact that we don't have to watch scary movies anymore.
That's true. Although
like the scary movie franchise.
Are we going to now be like when Scary Movie 6 comes out, we're going to see it, right?
Yeah, of course. But we don't have to watch these scary movies anymore. Particularly Scary Movie 4 and 5 has really put me off of them.
Genuinely, these have been, and I'm not using hyperbole, these have been brutal.
This has been a miserable exercise.
All right, so now take the temperature. Better or worse than Cagetober?
Still better. I think.
Really? I think once we get to Scary Movie 5, I was like, I think this is...
Five, the experience of 5, by far worse.
Yeah.
But as an entire month, I remember being so burnt out on Cagetober.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
So here are some taglines for Scary Movie 5. Evil is coming, bring protection. You've never seen activity like this.
Yes, I have.
I sure have. So this is primarily, as you said, a parody of Paranormal Activity. This is like a found footage parody. Then a lot of it is also Mama. We pick up, if you're not familiar...
I've never seen Mama,
You've
but
never
I'm
seen
familiar.
Mama? So yeah, Mama came from like a YouTube short or a short film, I guess, of like girls running down the stairs and there's a spooky ghost that rushes at the camera. Very effective.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And like the ghost is designed to look like they're underwater. Like very visually interesting. And then the movie itself is very much like, yeah, take that excellent 3-minute video and extend it. And it certainly feels watered down and stretched out.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the effects of it. It is suitably spooky, ghosty stuff. I wouldn't say great.
Sure.
But it was notable at the time. It's a fine thing to pick.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 5 is trying to riff on things. I think that they were more focused on horror here than Scary Movie 4 was. And for that, because I'm just looking for anything to commend, I think I'm going to say at least most of this is spooky.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Because what I was about to rebut with, but you are absolutely true, that you are absolutely right, is that there aren't really, besides the plot being a parody in itself, there aren't really parody jokes in this.
No.
They're just really unfunny jokes.
Oh my God.
But the jokes themselves aren't spoofs on anything else.
Correct.
Which is weird.
No, the entire mode of comedy is different. Everything is slow and takes a long time.
Yeah.
If I criticize 3 and 4 for having too many head bonks, there certainly are some in this movie.
There are. I'd never noticed how many until you pointed it out.
Everything is somebody getting doinked on the head.
Yeah.
Got it. You're getting hit in the head.
Right.
It's more than people getting kicked in the crotch.
I would prefer that.
I would.
It's also less, maybe it's, well, no, it would still hurt to get kicked in the crotch. It's getting bonked in the head or bonking your head on something is so visceral.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Every gag in this movie is something going on longer than you would think, which has been like the comedy of the last couple decades. I don't know. Like,
but
I think a Family Guy, when he like skins his knee.
Right. It's enough already.
It's just like drag it on long enough and it becomes funny again.
Yeah.
I get it. And I've laughed at plenty of jokes like that. But this movie does that one after another, after another, after another. Not only that, the editing, and this is like one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to pretend I'm some master editor or I understand cinematography as well as other folks or whatever. But I feel like the editing of this is always like fade to black and then fade from black, which signals in your brain, whether or not you consciously think about it, it tells you, oh, fade to black means time is passing.
Yeah.
And then we fade back up from black and it's like a long time has now passed.
Right.
Which only makes the movie feel even longer.
Yeah.
Because in your brain, you go, a lot of time is passing. And there's a lot of dead air and silence. Like the editing makes this feel, I mean, sloggy and brutal and long.
Yeah, I can see that.
And this is another weird thing. The colors, literally the saturation of this movie is turned down so that like bright colors are muted.
Yeah, it did look like dull.
It's gray. It's gray and quiet. Which doesn't prime your brain for comedy.
I'm not looking at it right now, but I don't even know if I thought of it as looking gray, because there are certainly things I can think of that I'm like, oh, it looks so gray and dull, but just everything is just a little bit muted.
It's desaturated and it is slow and it is, oh my God, is this brutal? Oh my God. So behind the camera, David Zucker is not directing, though it is said that he came in for reshoots, uncredited.
Apparently, this movie, like the final movie, is about 60% reshoots.
Oh.
Yes. Like that's what mainly...
More than half is reshoots.
Yes.
There's ADR all over this movie, too. Where it's like somebody is speaking, but different words come out of their mouth. It's like... This movie feels tampered with.
Yes.
And if this is what the salvage job was,
I know.
What was going on?
I know. So apparently they needed the Zucker touch to get this.
I guess, because this is terrible.
Yeah.
The credited director is Malcolm D. Lee, who had directed Barbershop: The Next Cut and would go on to direct that new Space Jam movie.
Yeah.
He has evidently disavowed this film. Does not consider it his
You
film.
don't say.
Did not show up for the premiere of this film.
Yeah.
I think this also bizarrely behind the scenes is technically the first movie released by the Weinstein Company, not Miramax, not Dimension.
Yeah.
After they were out, they started their own company, the Weinstein Company. And Scary Movie 5 was the first movie they released.
Right.
Coincidentally, 2013, same year, is when Marlon Wayans, the creator and writer and star of the first two films in the Scary Movie franchise, finally gets in the horror parody space
Right.
and releases his film, A Haunted House. Knowing that Harvey Weinstein was or is petty and shitty,
Yeah.
I genuinely wonder if this movie exists and was rushed just to mess with Marlon Wayans.
Interesting.
How dare you have walked away from
Yeah.
Scary Movie and turned your back on me and criticized the decision making behind the scenes, being like, we had to rush into 2, so I'm not coming back for 3. How dare you, Marlon Wayans? I am going to release a new entry of your franchise, Marlon Wayans, which is now my franchise,
Yeah.
to swallow your new horror parody.
Not impossible.
Just a theory.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would be in keeping with the kinds of stuff that Harvey Weinstein did, in addition to all the other stuff we know he did.
Yeah, of course. But no, that's entirely possible. Weird.
Befuddlingly, this was written by David Zucker and Pat Proft, who are the guys from like The Naked Gun,
Yeah.
and wrote the last 2.
Yeah.
For there to be no jokes in this, but be written by those guys is a shockaroo.
Yes.
Because all they do is jokes. But whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know what to make of that. The cast is similarly confusing. As you mentioned, no Anna Faris, no Regina Hall.
No.
This is the first time that we do not have Cindy Campbell and Brenda Meeks, which is a shame, and you can feel their absence. They are instead replaced by Ashley Tisdale and Erica Ash,
Yeah.
who are very clearly those characters
But
rewritten.
you know what's weird? It was not that clear to me.
I only think because Erica Ash doesn't want to lean into the like big zany stuff, and Ashley Tisdale's not good at playing the ditzy dope.
It was not clear to me at all, actually, until I read IMDb trivia and I was like, oh yeah, obviously, of course that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But this movie feels so divorced from all of the other movies.
It definitely does, yeah.
That did not read to me whatsoever.
That's very true. That is a good point. Confusingly, Charlie Sheen is back in the
Yeah.
cold open.
Very briefly.
Now, I'm puzzled by a couple of things with Charlie Sheen. One, why is he here? Why would he come back for Scary Movie 5?
Moolah.
2, he died in Scary Movie 4, but we know that death doesn't mean anything in these movies.
Well, he's playing Charlie Sheen.
Correct, and that's
Yeah.
confusing to me.
Yeah. It's just because then you could have gags, because this is definitely like the tiger's blood time in real life for him.
Yeah, he's doing a
So-
sex tape with Lindsay Lohan.
Right.
That's the cold open. And they keep having to, she's like, oh, sorry, my ankle monitor is beeping.
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, sorry, I got to check in with my parole officer. So they're playing off of their controversial
Like real life
public
problems.
personas.
Yeah.
But I still thought that was strange, especially because we're going to discover, now they do that long sex tape takes too long gag. Fast forward thing, and they're doing like gymnastics and stuff and whatever, and then like a pony gets in the bed.
Yeah.
Fine. None of it made me laugh. The fact that Charlie Sheen couldn't make me laugh, after I've now had a renaissance of discovering that I actually really think he's great in this kind of thing.
Well, did he make you laugh in Scary Movie 4?
Absolutely not. But he was there.
Right.
I guess he was there for about the same amount of time. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. It's bad. It's very, very bad.
Yeah.
And not only that, here's something that's puzzling. They end up getting attacked by a ghost, I guess, at the end of their sex tape.
Yeah.
And then Charlie Sheen is thrown into the camera,
Yes.
which cracks. And then they use one of the cracks to form the V of Scary Movie 5, like Roman numeral 5.
Very disappointing.
We have been very complimentary, and I think that they know this.
I
We have
know.
been very complimentary about the rings on Pamela Anderson's boobs forming the 3
I loved
in Scary Movie
them.
3.
I loved that.
And of Dr. Phil's slacks forming the 4 in Scary Movie 4.
I thought it was really funny that he fell back and crossed one leg over the other.
Yes.
Even that's funny.
Yes, it was just dopey and fun, but now it's just a crack in glass that looks kind of like a V. Everything here is muted, understated, unfunny.
I was heartbroken.
Unfunny. My heart broke.
Yeah.
And it not only
my
did
heart
it break...
broke just like that camera did.
Absolutely. Not only did my heart break, my heart broke for you.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew how much you loved it.
Yeah, I loved those things. I was like, at least that'll give me something to cling to, but nothing.
But then weirdly, they fade up on text on screen that says something to the effect of Charlie Sheen's 3 children being missing now.
I know.
Which is confused. This feels like a rewrite thing. And all of a sudden, Snoop Dogg is walking through the woods with some guy joking. Mac Miller?
Yeah, he was a very beloved rapper who has since passed.
Oh, okay. I've never seen this man. I'm sorry to this man.
Sorry to this man.
But so it's hilarious that they're rappers smoking weed in the woods, and then they find an abandoned house with the 3 children in it, and they're the mama kids. So feral children who've been raised by a ghost.
Right. Where's Nell? I asked.
What?
Nell is that character that Jodie Foster played who was feral in the 90s.
What?
Nothing.
I didn't know about this at all.
Of course you did. Everybody knows Nell.
Someone should have run this by me. I did not know about Nell. Sorry to this Nell.
You gotta know Nell.
I did not know Nell. This is where I wrote down, so far, almost every joke is about things going on for too long. The sex tape goes on for too long. Then Mac Miller goes, wow, that cabin in the woods reminds me of that scary movie about a cabin in the woods. And then Snoop Dogg goes, Friday the 13th? He goes, no, the one about the cabin in the woods. Oh, this thing? No, the one about the cabin in the, like, goes on too long.
Yeah.
Then they fire guns at the kids for too long. Then they point guns at each other and say, you put your guns down, I'll put my guns down. And they both throw down their guns but bring out more guns. That also goes on for too long.
It happens for a long time.
Every joke in this movie is, here's a thing, but now watch how long it goes.
Right.
That's every joke in this movie.
Or look how big it is.
That's a good one too.
That's also something that they do.
Yes,
because like
right.
in that kind of that little scene, like Snoop Dogg and Mac Miller are looking for like a pot farm or something, so that they can. First of all, they say they want to roll a blunt from like the pot farm, like the weed at the pot farm or whatever, and I don't know. You can't just like go to like a weed farm and just like grab a bunch of weed and roll a joint. Like you gotta like dry it out and stuff. But anyway, they come out of the pot farm with like people chasing them or something, and they're holding like a person-sized joint.
Oh yes.
Good stuff.
Yep, very good stuff. We're now introduced to who are going to be our 2 main characters, Ashley Tisdale and Simon Rex. Yes? What happened?
I'm embarrassed. You know that
you
song?
You laughed about something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm embarrassed at something that I'm laughing about that I am making up. You know that song in Into the Woods? It's like agony. That's what I just thought of in relation to this movie.
Oh,
agony, misery, whoa. That's how I feel about Scary Movie 5.
wow. Who are you, Harvey Fierstein?
I wish.
Wow.
If this was a Harvey Fierstein movie instead of Harvey Weinstein, we'd be in much better shape. That much I can tell you.
Oh, how did I end up on this show? I gotta call my lawyer. Ashley Tisdale and Simon Rex are going to be our main characters now. They're going to adopt the 3 feral children and fill their house with cameras like Paranormal Activity. Confusingly, Simon Rex is Charlie Sheen's brother, even though they're both playing 2 brand new characters, even though they played brothers in Scary Movie 3 and 4.
Right.
Your thoughts?
Like, who cares?
Why are they brothers?
Honestly, my thoughts are who cares? This is all just a means to an end for these movies. They don't care, so I don't care.
I literally wrote down yada, yada, yada.
Right.
They also reveal that Simon Rex works at a lab where he's trying to make chimps smart because we're going to pull Planet of the Apes into this somehow.
Honestly, I didn't even think about it being Planet of the Apes. I was like, oh, they just think that monkeys doing shit are funny.
Yeah, monkeys throwing their own shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really. How distinctly is it Planet of the Apes?
Because he makes the monkeys smart, and the monkeys take over the world and learn how to
but-
talk and stuff.
Yeah, no, I guess.
Also, Rise of the Planet of the Apes must have just come out where that boy,
What boy?
Seth Rogen's friend. The boy.
Huh?
The boy. He's not from Holes. That's Shia LaBeouf, Kristen. The one from
McLovin?
Freaks and Geeks. Not McLovin.
Oh, James Franco?
James Franco,
They're
thank
not
you.
friends anymore.
They're not friends anymore?
No, they had a public falling out
Oh, my God.
after James Franco was gross.
Yeah, James Stanko.
Yeah.
So James Franco in Rise of the Planet of the Apes was trying to make a monkey smart, and look how that turned out. So in this movie,
Okay, I
Simon
didn't know
Rex...
that that's what happens in
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes. I
Right.
guess I just thought that there was a planet of smart apes already.
Nope.
Okay,
So,
that makes more sense.
that's why in this movie, Simon Rex is so dopey, he doesn't realize that the ape is smarter than even him.
Okay. Gotcha.
We get Ashley Tisdale's background because she's our new Anna Faris.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Ashley Tisdale? I know her name.
She's from High School Musical. I've never actually seen her in anything besides this. I know that she has a line of Bath and Body products at Target that I like.
Okay.
Called Frenchie, because her character from High School Musical was named Frenchie.
Oh, okay,
But
very good.
this is spelled Frenchie as Frensch instead of just like Frenchie.
Frenchie.
It's like Frenchie.
Frenchie.
They're very nice products, though, I will say.
Wonderful. We get her backstory that her mom, Heather Locklear, was a ballerina who was pregnant and gave birth to Ashley Tisdale in the middle of a ballet. And then
gross.
accidentally kicked the baby across the stage and it landed in a tuba.
Yeah.
And the moment it touched the tuba went, "Wah." That's close to being funny.
Close, yeah.
Very close.
It is close.
They're getting dangerously close
Yeah.
to being funny there for a minute.
It could approach it. I just don't like a big sploosh of water breaking kind of thing. I think it's
couldn't
gross.
agree more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so now part of Ashley Tisdale's thing is, am I going to get into ballet as an adult? Should I bring the feral children to see the Black Swan? So let's get to the Black Swan. Molly Shannon is back in this movie, playing a different character from her character in Scary Movie 4.
Why could she just
3.
not? She couldn't stay away. Maybe they threw money at her the way they threw money at Anna Faris in Scary Movie 4.
Maybe they did. I have
Money
no
talks.
idea. All I know is that
I would do Scary Movie 6 for a bunch of money.
this...
And
sure.
Of course, I am in negotiations.
Of course you are. Of course you are. You'll have your people reach out to their people. Molly Shannon does scream at some point to Ashley Tisdale, who she now views as competition.
Yeah.
You think you can replace me? See what happens when the swan consumes you.
Yeah.
And because it's Molly Shannon, it's funny.
Yes.
If it was anyone else on the planet, this would not count. But because I already like Molly Shannon, that made me laugh.
She is fantastic.
Are we counting that as the movie making us laugh? It was in the movie.
That's a good question.
It was in the movie, so technically it's the movie making us laugh. You wouldn't have seen it otherwise. But
Yeah, I
it's
think it
just Molly
counts.
Shannon doing what she does.
Yeah, but it counts. She wouldn't be doing that if she
You're right.
weren't in the movie.
You're right.
It is only because it's Molly Shannon, but yeah, I think it technically still counts.
It is also worth pointing out that Aliu Yes was in the room, and I don't know what it was. She laughed at something during the scene where Ashley Tisdale is on the toilet and takes a pregnancy test by peeing on her phone. And the phone, I don't know, something there made her chuckle.
Okay.
And so we had a big talk about that. All right. I want you to know that that's taken care of.
Okay, good. That puts my mind at ease.
Please.
Well, Will, before we proceed, I think we all have to regroup. Just take a breath.
Oh, I don't know, Kristen, I'm feeling, I think in the second half, we're going to blaze through Scary Movie 5 and wrap up SCARMUTO because I've got some overarching stuff to talk about this franchise, about this experience, and some concerns about the future.
Okay, great.
Okay?
That will be the bulk of the back half of the episode then. But the same way that Tubi has little breaks, Wave a Break too, where we need to tell you about patreon.com/GTTUpod. This is where we have a whole second weekly podcast called the Netherworld Dispatch that comes out every single Monday. And if you go to our Patreon and you become a patron at the demon level, the demon tier, you get all of those episodes. And we have a number of other tiers you can check out, see what works for you, and you can get 2 episodes a month, 1 episode a month, whatever works. We even have a $1 tier if you'd like to join and just join our Discord. Also, it's worth mentioning, if you join our $4 tier, that is the Ghost tier, you get access to all of our regular Guides to the Unknown episodes ad-free, in addition to all of those other bonuses on Patreon. Yeah.
It is so much fun. The Netherworld Dispatch is like having a little party every week.
Yeah.
Where we look at horror. Sometimes we play horror games and stuff. Go poke around, have a good time. The second that you sign up for any of the tiers that get access to the Netherworld Dispatch, not only do you unlock new shows going forward, you unlock an archive of shows reaching back to the beginning. So you're going to be swimming in it, everybody.
And if you have any curiosity about these shows, you can go to that Patreon and you can click play on all of those episodes. And there's a 5-minute free preview of each episode. So you can just like listen and be like, do I like this or not? And check it out.
Hell yeah. I genuinely think on the Netherworld Dispatch, there are things that have made me like laugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it seems like our listeners and our patrons
Yes.
laugh, because we talk about these episodes in the Discord. People message us and email us. People seem to really like it. So
Which
thank
is
you
wonderful.
so much to all of you. It tickles us to no end that you all enjoy the same stupid shit we do. So thank you
Truly.
very much.
Thank you. And actually, on that line of just like delightful praise, again, I want to like find little dollops of sunshine where we can.
Yeah.
I do have a lovely review for us from the 3 stars, who ironically gives us 5 stars.
Look at that.
And they say, love this podcast. Great brother-sister energy between Kristen and Will. And I love their excitement approaching every new topic. Good luck on the new network, meaning Bloody FM. I think this review was like just as we joined, and it was fun. So
nice.
if you leave a review, there's a chance I might read your review on this show at some point in the future.
Yeah.
We would greatly appreciate it. The reviews really help not only to like keep our show like in the zeitgeist, see how people are feeling about what we're doing. I'm very worried about SCARMUTO reviews.
Oh, God.
Just occurred to me. It just occurred to me that we're going to get like a month's worth of SCARMUTO
tank.
reviews.
Oh, God.
This may have been a catastrophe. So if you guys can offset the SCARMUTO reviews, please help us.
People are going to be as sick of hearing about it as we are of watching the movies.
The good news is we are almost done.
Yeah.
We're literally at 90% as of me saying these words.
Yeah.
So yeah, please go do that. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much to everybody who's a patron, who leaves us reviews, tells friends about us. You all rule.
All
Just
right.
listens. That's great too.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, because you're right, we are just like Tubi. How about another little commercial break?
How about it? Okay, William.
Yeah.
Give me your points.
What my?
It sounds like you got some things to say.
Well, let me grind through some of other stuff that's going on. They've got a Spanish house cleaner, and Scary Movie knows how to handle her as tastefully as they ever did.
Of course.
Their house gets demolished, and we get to see a montage of Simon Rex's incredible physical comedy as he like stumbles around the house. And I just wrote, why does it go on so long? I said the maid takes he opens a closet he's told not to open, and it turns out the maid is in there sitting on the toilet shitting. And then the second he opens the toilet, she farts so hard that it rockets her off the toilet into him, and they go sliding across the ground.
Okay, so this is actually Ashley Tisdale who this happens to.
You are right. I apologize. I'll watch the movie again to make up for that.
Okay, weirdly, first of all, yeah, she farts so hard she rockets off the toilet. Then she lands on Ashley Tisdale and performs such a tiny fart, although the velocity of the fart, rockets them across the room.
The sheer potency.
Yeah, it defies all I don't know, laws of physics as I understood them.
It is
So
true.
now I got to hit the books to understand how this happened.
It is true. You're right about
like,
that.
And yet they go flying.
Yeah, you're right. That is unusual.
Yeah.
Also unusual, there are 2 separate instances of somebody sticking a toothbrush up an ass in this movie. Cat Williams shows up as a psychic.
And surprisingly understated, I must
Surprisingly understated,
say.
I agree.
He's not as like Cat Williams voicey as you would think.
The entire
but perhaps
gag is that
this is like him showing his acting chops.
Totally.
But it seems like you wouldn't do that here. You would want to be playing it up.
I also agree. His whole gag is he's like, I'm a psychic.
Yeah.
I got to take some of your stuff here because it's got psychic residue on it,
Right.
or whatever. And he's just stealing their things and trying to scam them. However, their house is haunted by that mama ghost.
Yeah.
And his scene ends with him being dragged across the floor off camera, screaming, "It's mama!"
Yeah.
Fade to black, fade up to Simon Rex and Ashley Tisdale in bed, going, that guy was just a scam artist.
Right.
Well, no, wait a minute, because what I just saw was confirmation of a ghost.
Yeah. I don't know.
How did he drag himself across the floor?
You're right.
This movie...
Yeah, he made contact.
Yeah. We now get like a spoof movie of the era type nonsense where like Leonardo DiCaprio impersonator shows up.
Yeah, for like a really long, I had the name. What the hell's the name of that movie?
Inception.
Yeah, Inception scene.
Yeah, we're in the dregs of parody when it's into like,
Definitely.
here's a celebrity impersonator. His crotch catches on fire. We also see
You said that's so funny. His crotch catches on fire.
we also see Jerry O'Connell, who is essentially playing Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
He, of course, from Scary Movie 2, another, unfortunate trajectory
Yeah.
between these two franchises.
Yes.
Honey Boo Boo.
And also, William, what was the order? No, I know the order, of course. He was in Scream 2 before Scary Movie.
Of course, yes.
Yeah,
Scream
yeah,
2 was like the year 1997, and
Yeah.
this is 2013.
Right.
Honey Boo Boo is referenced in the movie. One of the feral children, Lily, just says,
She says, $1 make me holler, Honey Boo Boo Child.
yeah, hilarious.
Apparently, they had to change that for international audiences because international audiences didn't know who the hell Honey Boo Boo was.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
So they changed it to reference to some other show that people did know.
Right. Ultimately, they realize they have to go back to that cabin, the abandoned cabin, to try and get rid of Mama. But when they go there, it's not abandoned. There are like Christian kids in there.
Yeah.
The Necronomicon is in the basement. The Necronomicon is what's responsible for creating the ghost Mama. Every time they read from the Necronomicon, upstairs, unbeknownst to them, the Christian kids start cutting their arms off and getting possessed and cutting their tongues in half.
Yeah. One of them is Bow Wow.
Interesting.
Perhaps then known as Lil Bow Wow.
Perhaps. I think that is technically a joke.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. I didn't like it.
No. And then they read Adunda, which is the end of the curse, and the kids are now back to normal, but like, what just happened? I'm missing my arms.
Yeah, they like want to join hands and pray, but like Bow Wow can't join hands because he's missing one.
Yep. Maria, the maid, at one point confusingly cooks Simon Rex a pie, and he goes, that's a shit pie, isn't it?
Okay, so that is a parody of the movie The Help, where they make a shit pie.
Oh. Mm-hmm. What's The Help?
The Help is based on a book that I've never read the book and I've never seen the movie, but it's about like black people who are the help for a family who's treating them terribly, and at one point they make them a pie that they've cooked shit into.
Okay, that explains it, because I was like, I don't understand what is going on. Because then she tries to serve him shit in a hot dog bun, and then finally she peels a banana, but it's shit inside the banana peel.
Yeah.
And I was just like, is this just because poop is funny?
Right.
What is going on?
It's both, but
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Finally, they go back to the cliffs. Mama is there, and she falls. The little feral child bites her on the neck, and then Mama falls off the cliff and lands in a shark tank on Snoop Dogg's yacht. Mm-hmm. And that's how this movie ends.
Yeah, I know. Thank God.
Mama is defeated. The whole thing is boring.
Yeah.
The reason why it didn't even necessarily take that long to describe is because 90% of the jokes are, here's something that takes a long time.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever.
It's just terrible.
Ultimately, they defeat Mama, and this is by far the worst of the movies. However, there is a laugh that I did not explain to you yet. Are you ready to hear a time that I laughed?
I hope so. Yeah.
Ashley Tisdale's like, we're going to have to go to the cabin. And then they cut to one of those like drone shots of a car driving down the road while Ashley Tisdale's like, maybe the curse of Mama can be lifted if we read from the book. But the shot of the car driving, it's a toy car. It's like a wind-up toy car just and there's nobody in it. It's a toy car.
I don't remember this. I'm listening
off.
to you talk about something like I've never seen this before.
It made me laugh. I was actually like, this is a good joke.
Yeah.
It's the same shot you would usually have of just a car driving through the woods while you hear the voiceover of the characters being like, maybe we can free the ghosts if we go to the cabin.
Yeah.
But it is very clearly a little red toy car. It's a convertible. There's no roof.
Yeah.
And there aren't even any toys sitting in the driver's seat or anything. It's just an empty toy car that's driving down the road.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh.
That
And
sounds
I
pretty
count
good.
that actually
I must have zoned out during that part.
I count that as actually a fine joke.
I had to like get up and move my phone across the room from me at one point and just be like, all right, I'm not really taking a ton of notes. If there's something I need to say, I will go get my phone, because I kept just wanting to get on my phone and like look at people.com and stuff, because
that
I was
makes sense.
so bored. And then even so, I would just be like looking through the screen and I'd be like, "Bleh."
I know. It was
Yeah.
better times are on the horizon, everybody,
course.
in a multitude of ways. I have some good news to share with you in a moment. But in conclusion, unless you have anything else to say about Scary Movie 5 really itself.
No, I'm interested to hear about your further research.
My further
Nothing
research?
that's important. Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. I took a look at a few things.
Yeah.
Okay. First of which, I did mention that, of course, Marlon Wayans had essentially a competing film in the theaters this very year, A Haunted House. His grand return to horror parody.
Yes.
Bizarrely, A Haunted House is also a parody of Paranormal Activity.
I know.
It is, by and large, the same movie.
Yeah.
He also has a Spanish house cleaner where there are also weird jokes
Now,
with her.
I did not watch the movie, but I watched the trailer and a few clips, and I
Okay.
was like, oh, wow.
I watched a good half of the movie before I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. It literally was like midnight when I started.
Yeah.
And I watched half of this movie. Here's what I have to say to you. Here's what is shocking. Are you ready to be shocked?
Yeah.
Are you ready to be shocked?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's a better movie than Scary Movie 5.
I'm not shocked by that.
You're not shocked by that?
No, did you think I'd actually be shocked?
Yeah.
No, William, Scary Movie 5 is absolute junky trash.
Is it one of the worst movies you've ever seen?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that I have seen exist, and I go, I will never watch that. That looks like that is like a movie barely made. It's barely being held together.
Yes.
And I've never actually watched a movie like it all the way. I've been
Okay.
aware of movies like it and said, no, thank you. But I've never actually watched a movie like this.
Here's the shockaroo about A Haunted House. The jokes are juvenile
Yeah.
and stupid, but there is a level of care and craft to it that implies the people making it wanted to make it.
Yeah.
And you cannot say that about Scary Movie 5. Everybody feels like they are in Scary Movie 5 against their will,
Right.
or ironically, or
Yeah.
due to some contractual obligation, or were, in the case of the director, like had to leave and then came back to find out the whole movie had been changed and now is like, this isn't even, don't even put my name on this. And
Yeah.
yet his name is on it.
Right.
A Haunted House is at least Marlon Wayans being
Like they wanted to make that.
he wanted to
movie.
make the movie.
It's not just people who are like, all right, I'll get a paycheck.
And P.S. the
And
comedy.
there's nothing wrong with that, but like it's
Totally.
not, you're not putting your heart into it. You're like, this is bad, but I'm here to get some money.
Exactly. I think Marlon Wayans wanted to make a movie.
Right.
And listen, he made it for $2.5 million, which is
Yeah,
nothing.
I know.
Nothing. That is half of a Blumhouse budget. And he genuinely, I feel, considered like how it should look and how
Yeah.
jokes should flow. Here's a sample joke from A Haunted House. All right. It's a parody of Paranormal Activity, so everything is like filmed by a camera that's in the house.
Yeah.
He puts a camera on a fan, like a fan that can
An oscillating fan.
an oscillating fan. So it turns to the right, then it turns to the left, then it turns back to the right. He and his wife or girlfriend or whatever are leaving the house. So they say to the to their house cleaner, "We'll be back later." And the camera oscillates to the maid waving goodbye to them and then goes back to show the entryway. And when it comes back to the maid, she's on the phone sitting back in a chair going, "They don't even think that I speak English. These people are crazy." And then
Yeah.
the camera, and she's like, "Do you want to come over?" Camera turns, shows the front door, comes back to the house cleaner, and all her friends are already there.
Yeah.
Everyone's sitting around the table partying, and then it pans back and it comes forward, and now she's having sex with a pool cleaner guy, and then it pans back, and Marlon Wayans comes home and goes, "Maria, we're home," and then it pans back, and Maria is dressed like a maid again. The house is perfectly clean, as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hola."
That's pretty good.
That is a completely
Yeah.
sufficient joke.
Yes, that's
That is
pretty good.
That's a joke. It didn't make me laugh.
Right.
I'm not here to say, boy, how great was this.
Right.
But that was a considered progression of comedic things.
Yeah.
That concluded with a punchline that she completely got away with it.
Yeah.
It's the same as when Kramer was watching Jerry's apartment and moved all the furniture around and made it a nightclub and had friends over. And then Jerry comes home and is disturbed because Kramer had a drink that wasn't on a coaster.
Right.
It is the same joke.
Yes.
And it's a fine joke.
Totally.
A lot of the movie is kind of like that.
You know what? That sounds much better than Scary Movie 5.
Oh my God,
Leaps
yes.
and bounds.
So I watched, like I said, half of that and bailed. And then I was like, I'm going to watch some of the second one.
Yeah.
And had to bounce almost immediately.
Really?
But
Okay.
I did read online and could not find it and verify that at some point in the movie, Marlon Wayans breaks character and says something to the effect of,
What?
well, you know, the Scary Movie movies have gotten terrible.
Oh.
Like he basically does like a
Interesting.
nudge wink. The Scary Movie franchise sucks.
Yeah.
Within A Haunted House 2. Which is compelling to me.
Sounds like more than a nudge wink.
That is interesting to me.
Yeah.
The other thing that I watched was Allie and I watched. I told you last week we had watched Police Squad.
Right.
We fully watched The Naked Gun.
Right. Okay.
So we watched Naked Gun 1. Kristen, I think for a palate cleanser, just put on.
Oh, I love The Naked Gun.
Oh my God, it really helped to offset.
Yeah.
It truly helped to offset SCARMUTO.
I would be happy to watch The Naked Gun. That's good enough that it's not like, oh, I can't handle another parody. That's just a good movie.
Yes. Oh, that's just good comedy right there.
There's no problem. So apparently there's a scene from A Haunted House that I guess is like at least somewhat beloved on the internet, because when I watched the trailer for just the first one, A Haunted House, somebody left a comment that was like, how many people are here after watching the kitchen scene? And there were like a ton of comments under that being like, yeah, me, that was amazing. And so I watched it and like, I don't know, it's fine. I didn't think it was that funny though.
What's the kitchen scene?
It was Marlon Wayans and his wife in the movie sitting drinking coffee in their kitchen while like a ghost, I guess, that you can't see is like making pots fall down and stuff. And the joke is, I guess, that they're just so used to the paranormal activity that they can just go about their business while crazy things are happening.
Oh.
But people got a real kick out of it, I guess, because people saw that scene. I guess it must have gotten shared enough online that then they were like, oh, what is this from? And went and watched the trailer for A Haunted House.
Interesting.
I know.
Okay, well, fair enough. Again,
Yeah.
everything has its audience.
Absolutely, but I'm surprised that scene must have traveled somewhat far and wide.
The especially after seeing Scary Movie 5, when you watch A Haunted House, and
Yeah.
I say when because I know you will,
Of course.
but you do get the distinct contrast of like, this is something that somebody wanted to make and had no money to do it really,
Right.
but found creative ways to show that there's a ghost or hide the special effects or like it felt like a movie. It
and
felt
called
like
in friends like David Koechner,
David
like Nick
Koechner's there.
Swardson.
They show up basically for like improv-a-thons.
I would
know?
imagine.
Like Nick Swardson does his beloved gay character routine.
Of course. That's in the trailer.
Which is like all he does,
I know.
I guess.
I know. So weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
David Koechner cries talking about his wife sleeping with someone else.
Okay.
Whatever.
Seems like he does that a lot too.
Yeah, I've seen him cry a lot. Listen.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie. I don't recommend A Haunted House, but I recommend it
right.
ahead of Scary Movie 5.
Yeah, sure.
So let's now get back to Scary Movie 5, although I did also do the following. I wrote down a list, and some of these might surprise you.
Okay.
I wrote down a list of the trajectory of parody films since Scary Movie came out. Do you want to hear some of this?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Are you okay with this?
I am.
You're going to be surprised by where it ends.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, it's worth where it ends.
Okay.
All right? I know that's a big, bold claim to make. I think I'm right, and I think even if it takes me a minute to read the names of all these, you're going to be happy with where this ends.
Okay.
I promise.
You're going to like how you
Okay?
look. I guarantee it.
Like is good. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're going to love it. Ready? So in 2000, we got Scary Movie. Simultaneously, we got Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Starring Tom Arnold, friend of the show.
Yes.
Within a year, we got Scary Movie 2. That same year, we got Not Another Teen Movie. The parody genre is firmly taking off. Would you agree? We're at
Yes.
launch.
Oh, yeah.
Scary Movie 3 comes out. A lot of people seem to still like really hold that in high estimation. That's fine. That's fine.
A lot of people.
I
Again,
know.
when I went to that Reddit thread, people love Scary Movie 3.
People quite like 3.
Yeah.
Date Movie comes out in 2006. I remember seeing this.
Okay. I don't think
Okay.
I've seen that.
Scary Movie 4 comes out that same year. We are now in the decline. All right?
Yeah.
6 years, we're in the decline. But I would still say
Can't
we're...
quite call them the golden years,
No,
but
we're in
yeah.
the decline now, and we're still in the first third of my list. Okay?
Oh my God.
Epic Movie is a year later. Disaster Movie is a year after that. That same year, we get Superhero Movie. That same year, we get Meet the Spartans. 2008 is a bad year.
Yeah.
Okay? Then we get Things. I think now these stop being... I think after Meet the Spartans, they stopped being theatrical.
Okay.
Okay? Because here we get things, some of which I've never even heard of, such as Dance Flick or Stan Helsing, which we have looked at before on the Netherworld Dispatch.
Yeah.
And here's something interesting. Taint Light.
What the hell is that?
Take a guess at what Taint
Twilight?
Light is probably making fun of.
Twilight?
Twilight.
But Taint Light?
Taint Light.
What is their angle?
Taint is a funny word. That is their
God.
angle.
Oh my God.
2010 gifted us with The 41-Year-Old Virgin Who Knocked Up Sarah Marshall and Vampires Suck. In 2012, we got Breaking Wind. 2013 gifted the world with The Starving Games, which we've looked at on the Netherworld
Breaking
Dispatch.
Wind is pretty funny for Breaking Dawn.
Yes.
So I wonder if the trilogy is like Taint Light, Breaking Wind, and I wonder what else. Okay, go ahead.
And then they tried to go theatrical again in 2013. They tried to see, like, I know that we've been suffering direct-to-video with all these parodies, low-budget parodies. 2013, they tried, because that, of course, is where Scary Movie 5 and A Haunted House were released. But that same year, we did get Paranormal Whacktivity, so it's anyone's guess what's going on.
Yeah.
Back to direct-to-video, you get The Hungover Games, A Haunted House 2, the movie Superfast, which is a play on Fast and the Furious,
Okay.
and Tooken,
Okay.
and which is a play on Taken, I guess, in 2015. And then the most recent parody film that I have, until seemingly Scary Movie 6 comes out perhaps next year,
Wow.
is 2017's parody of Saw, titled Slaw. Slaw, which I suppose
That
is
is pretty good.
short for coleslaw.
Yeah, I guess so.
See? And that was the one that I wanted you to hear.
That is pretty good. Slaw.
I read all of that to you, just so I could tell you that there was a movie called Slaw.
So, wow. So we're in the middle of a 7-year barren wasteland.
Yes, since 2017. And I
Yeah.
couldn't swear that there have been none, but this is where I certainly had to stop. So it's
I'm
been 7
surprised
years.
to hear this because fortunately/unfortunately, because of our show, I feel surrounded by these things.
I
Because we
know.
have done a number of episodes on the Netherworld Dispatch where we take a look at trailers for these movies. So I could have sworn they're coming out every year like clockwork.
Maybe they still are, but they're not making lists anymore.
man.
I'm not sure. Now, to navel gaze, to look back at SCARMUTO the month.
Yeah.
The franchise. I was curious about overall response to these movies and like just looking at the trajectory, because now I'm also like imagining like, why are they thinking that we want Scary Movie 6? Listen to
Yeah.
this. Rotten Tomatoes scores, okay? Scary Movie 1, 51%. Not great? Fine. Scary Movie 2, 14%.
Ouch.
Big plummet.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 3 back up, 35%. Scary Movie 4 just barely down at 34%.
That's shocking, but okay.
Scary Movie 5, guess.
Single digits.
Single digits is
Yeah.
correct. 4%.
It's terrible.
4%.
Yeah.
The worst scored movie in the franchise by a wide margin. In terms of making money, Scary Movie 1 was incredibly successful. $19 million budget, went on to make $278 million.
That's amazing.
Scary Movie 2, much bigger budget, $45 million, makes $141 million.
Still good.
Still a profit. Scary Movie 3, $48 million budget, huge. Box office, $220 million. Again,
Wow.
back up.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 4, $45 million budget. I don't know where that money went.
Seriously. To those stupid alien things.
I guess. $178 million box office. All right.
That's still pretty good.
Scary Movie 5,
$25 budget.
$20 million budget. So they're back down. This is about the same amount of money they made the first one
That's
for,
crazy.
which is shocking.
That's crazy.
I know, it is. This does not look like they had anything.
No.
$78.5 million.
Even
at the
that's
box
crazy.
Office. I know, it's really not fair. I
Yeah.
would say they did technically turn a profit on it.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, that's good.
And then would you like to rank all 5? Stank all 5.
It's completely easy for me.
SCARMUTO, rank the stank.
Rank the stank.
Where you put them?
1, 3, 2, 4, 5.
3 above 2.
I think 3 above 2 now.
Wait a minute, because you said to me, I think, and we've got the records to prove or disprove.
No, I'm not going to argue.
I think you had said 2 was better than 1.
Okay, first of all, I think I said the vibe, like the setting of 2 was better than 1. I did not like 2 better than 1. No.
Okay. All right.
No.
But now you're saying you liked 3 better than 2.
Yeah.
That's
That is
interesting.
a change for me.
That is a change, I think. All right, that's very surprising.
Yes, that is a change for me. In
Okay.
hindsight, thinking about it, I do like 3 better than 2.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. I can rank going by number of laughs.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. Here's the other thing that I did that I didn't even tell you yet.
Yeah.
After I finished Scary Movie 5 and before I put on a haunted house, I wrapped around to the beginning and I watched Scary Movie.
You're sick. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I wanted to do it right.
You're a sicky sick.
I watched
that's good.
Scary Movie 1, Kristen. And it was like seeing the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like a cool drink of water.
It went down so smooth.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm sure.
It was like a work of art compared to Scary Movie 5.
Oh, I believe it.
I had never done my joke tally in that first week, so that'll be new information.
Yeah.
Once again, I technically laughed 2 times at Scary Movie 5. Okay? I have, now I did just copy down all my laughs before. Some of these are Allie, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It looks like I laughed 4 or 5 times at Scary Movie 4. I've got 5 laughs on Scary Movie 3. 5 laughs on Scary Movie 2.
Okay.
Which would technically tie basically all those.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess how many times I laughed at Scary Movie 1?
A lot. I have no idea. 20.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I think there was one more I forgot to write down where he goes spaghetti, ketchup, just like my mom likes to put on her spaghetti, Cindy.
Yeah.
13.
Nice.
Baker's dozen. I laughed 13 times.
Excellent.
That fart within 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
Cindy's flabby chest.
Yep.
That monkey
I
where
know, thinking back on it,
I
what a
know, doesn't
movie.
it? Doesn't it feel like you're getting like some like fresh air right now as I remind you of these things?
Yes.
When she says, "Could you settle for a PG-13 relationship?" and
I
she
love
opens
that.
her dress and it's a flabby man's chest.
I love that.
When, and I know that this is contentious, she gives that homeless man a sandwich and he looks at it and goes, "I said
That's
$1, bitch," and throws the sandwich at her. I know, but it still
But
made
it's
me
funny.
laugh. Ray sticking his hand in Lachlan Monroe's ass, complete with a sound when he pulls it out, that still made me laugh.
Yep.
Lachlan Monroe getting a whole beehive stuck on his head still made me laugh. Them saying we hit something, we hit a boot, where's the foot?
Yeah.
That still made me laugh. Principal Squigman still made me laugh. Kurt Fuller, just in general.
Oh, God, yeah.
How about a change of underwear, son?
Perfect.
Lachlan Monroe finding a photo stuck in his locker that just says "I know" with a picture of his baby dick.
Love that.
Kurt Fuller showing Cindy pictures of himself wearing a red Speedo.
God, what a movie. I revoke my not recommending of it.
You do?
I revoke it.
I'm afraid it's too late. I tried to give you your chance. I tried to give you your chance.
I recommend Scary Movie 1.
I tried to give you your chance to recommend it because I knew that we were heading further and further into a gutter, into the sewer.
Into the abyss.
And you didn't know a good thing when you had it.
I know. You're right. You're right.
I think it's too late. Folks out there, feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think Kristen gets to recommend Scary Movie.
You know what? I guess it's just out there whether you decide to take my recommendation or not. It's just case by case.
Doofy saying he was cleaning his room still made me laugh. And then at the very end of the movie, I also forgot this, so technically it's 14. I'm still finding things that are making me laugh. Of course, Cindy drops
Like an
her
archaeologist.
Cindy drops her coffee mug and it says Doofus Enterprises on it, or Doofus Industries. And then Doofy's walking and his gait straightens out as we realize that he played us all the whole time.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 1 wins it, takes it for me, the top spot.
Yeah.
If I had to,
handily,
gun to my head, I would have ranked these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Classic Willie ranking that just get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
But I also did the following: my top 3 jokes from the whole series.
Okay, you're such a pain in the ass.
Why?
Why'd you tell me to do this too?
I don't know. What's your favorite joke?
I don't know.
I just
Go
decided.
Ahead, go ahead.
Well, you know why? Because I did this shit at like 1 a.m. because I had to watch all this shit.
Go ahead. No, you didn't. Go ahead.
I had to. This is my work.
Yes.
My top jokes, not necessarily in any particular order. Okay. Where's the foot? We hit a boot. Where's the foot?
Yeah, it's a good joke.
That's a good joke to me. The existence of Principal Squigman. I counted as a joke because it's very funny that Scream had Henry Winkler, the Fonz. So in Scary Movie, they get Squiggy.
It is funny.
So I counted that. That's one of my other favorite jokes.
Yeah.
Both from the first movie. If you had to guess now, we'll make it a game. Make it a game. Don't peek.
William, I have no
No
idea.
peeking.
No, go ahead.
Not the joke. What movie do you think? Is it still the first movie?
No. I think I do know. I think that's it's my last chance to talk to the top half.
That's exactly right. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Talk to the top half was on the board. But I did also see honorable mention. The Ring is a toilet.
I love that
And you see
joke.
bare ass cheeks
Yeah.
sitting on the bowl.
It's a great joke.
On the spot, I know, but is there any joke of the franchise that you can at least commend to end on some spark of positivity for SCARMUTO?
You've mentioned them all already. Definitely one of my favorites from the first one is the PG-13 and her opening her...
The flabby chest. That was almost in my top 3.
Yes.
It really was. I think
It's a great one.
that's like a perfect joke.
Yes, it's incredible.
So I can only conclude with the following, because I've checked to see as of this recording, and I don't know, maybe there will be news that drops soon. Who's to say?
Yeah.
It is the spookiest season of all. Maybe they will
course.
finally gift us with some news of what's to come in the future.
It'd be incredible. An incredible gift.
As SCARMUTO 2024 winds down, Scary Movie 6, that's the reason why we're all here today. It's been announced. They are doing it.
Yeah.
I have read online very, very little. It still is all speculation at this point. But supposedly, Anna Faris, Regina Hall, and Marlon Wayans have all expressed interest in coming back.
Oh, hey, everybody. So sorry to interrupt. This is Will and Kristen Contemporary. Today, it is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, and we have breaking news in the Scary Movie franchise.
Yeah, so Will, I don't even know what this is. You texted me, weigh-ins are in, and I was on my way home from work, and I don't know anything else. Fill me in as you fill our audience in.
I know, it's an emergency. It's an emergency.
Yeah.
We seldom literally have breaking news in Guide to the Unknown, let alone SCARMUTO. But this, I was alerted, I should first say, by a listener, Donald Smith on Twitter. Thank you, shout out.
Oh,
And it's
awesome.
true.
Thank you.
This is everywhere, Kristen. Deadline's picked up the story. I'm expecting this to be on the front page of the New York Times by the end of the day. I don't know if they have 2 different front pages per day. I'm not sure. But this, I don't know anything else pressing going on right now. This could disrupt the election. I'm waiting currently for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to weigh in on the situation.
I can only hope.
All right. This is the Deadline article, which is really picking up on the story as it sort of broke from Marlon Wayans' Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans posted this. Last week, I said I had a huge announcement to make. Well, here it is. We're back. After nearly 20 years, the Wayans brothers are finally going to give the fans what they've been asking for, a return to the Scary Movie franchise. We're looking forward to having fun on the big screen again. He hasn't had any fun.
No, not since then.
20 years. Now, here's the most interesting thing. So we're inserting this breaking news at the tail end of SCARMUTO 5, which is the end of our run in 2024. What a wonderful October surprise, everybody. We were speculating.
Wait, what's the serious thing that was like the something surprise?
The October surprise. It's called the October surprise. Everything's happening all at once. I don't know if people out there can hear the dog is barking, the doorbell's ringing. Everyone's banging down the door for my opinion on this matter.
Right. They know what's happening.
This is the new spin zone, though. So everybody here is getting like the realest reactions. So, okay. The photo. Now, I should say, as I interrupted our broadcast of SCARMUTO 5, you and I had begun to speculate. What does the future hold for Scary Movie 6? Because we've known that it was announced, but we didn't know what might happen. We thought that the David Zucker was still attached. No one saw the Wayans brothers coming. But in all of our speculation, Kristen, we have always wondered, what of Goofy? I might have an answer for you.
Really? Oh, okay, go ahead. I'll stop stuttering. That's what I was not expecting at all.
Because this is a shock. Marlon Wayans' Instagram photo accompanying his announcement shows him crouching, and just behind him, arms splayed out wide, is the Scary Movie version of Ghostface with the smile.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
I don't know what that says about Doofy, though.
Well, I'll tell you what it says. Marlon Wayans knows that all the speculators are here for all the Scary Movie lore, all the nuggets. By showing Ghostface, I do think it's something that you and I have been positing, that Scary Movie 6 will be returning to the story of Scary Movie 1. Scream is back. Scary Movie is back. Ghostface is back with the smile. Could Doofy be behind the grin?
One can only hope, and by one, I mean Dave Sheridan.
Hope, pray to whatever God
Guys,
you believe in.
Guys, do whatever it is you need to do.
Yeah. Listen, I as we're interrupting our show, I would say important things like go make sure you cast your vote. If you
Sure,
live in
we
America,
could.
the election is
Yeah.
right around the corner. I could say all those
that.
things. Listen, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be part of that.
No.
I don't vote. I follow
No,
Scary Movie.
We're not part of the system, man.
No.
The system that we're part of is the SCARMUTO system. And guess what? That machine just whirred back to life in a way that we didn't expect. So we're asking you to do your civic duty and get Doofy. Make America Doofy again.
Do
Mada.
your civic Doofy. Mada?
Yeah.
Oh, but also seriously vote. Really seriously vote.
No, yeah. Vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Yeah, and vote for Scary Movie 6. Don't write in Doofy. I know that's a...
No, don't.
Something the kids like to do is write in Doofy on the ballot.
No, vote blue, not Doof.
Yes, exactly. But so no, this is Marlon, Sean, and Keenan Wayans are all in it again. This is a franchise we created more than 20 years ago. We remember people laughing in the aisles and hope to see that happen again. They saw us. They saw us doing that, Kristen. I knew they'd been watching.
Honestly, I'm very happy to hear this. Like I'm happy for them. And okay, good.
I know. Listen, this genuinely could be a very good thing.
Well, I mean,
terrible
look,
one.
I would say very good. Like everything, our view of the first two Scary Movies has been colored by the latter ones. So our view of this news is also being colored by that. When I say this could be very good, this could be very funny, I'm not so sure that in a broader all the movies sense that that's true. But I'm glad that if there's going to be a Scary Movie 6, that it's a Wayans Brothers movie.
I agree with you, but yes, I think it is important to remind our listeners and viewers that we're grading this on a curve. Do I want this in general? No. I mean, but considering that we've been going down the SCARMUTO rabbit hole, this is like a breath of fresh air. This is like giving oxygen to a drowning man.
Yes, absolutely. I feel so much better.
But you do realize that this means that probably Shorty is going to be in the next one.
Oh, no. Oh, God, that's right. Well, you know what? You know how I was saying at one point in some of these movies, I was like, oh, I wonder if Shorty would come back from college being kind of like an intellectual stoner where, whatever, maybe this is their time. Maybe. He's like very into strains and stuff. And
oh my
whatever.
God, he's going to be like the head of like the health department or something.
Yeah. Taking a very different tack. Maybe not, but I'm just saying that's like the way that marijuana culture has moved since.
Right.
So
yes.
it could be.
That is very true. That is very true. But shocking news, a wonderful surprise here at the end of SCARMUTO. What perfect timing. They must have known. Yeah,
I think that this might have prompted them to announce.
They were like, well, Scary Movie 5, they're about to drop the final review. We got to give them something good. And so, Wayans, we're here to boost that signal for you, baby.
It's called the SCARMUTO bump.
The SCARMUTO bump. All right, everybody. Well, happy Halloween once again. We're going to return you to the original broadcast.
Safely into the arms of past Kristen and Will.
Yeah, you're going to be rejoining us as we continue speculating of what Scary Movie 6 could possibly look like. Oh boy, the future is bright, everybody.
That's right. We rejoin our program in progress.
Yes. Enjoy.
Famously, Melissa Barrera, when fired from Scream 7, said, hey, I wouldn't mind doing Scary Movie, make fun of this whole situation. I do feel like that ship has sailed.
Probably.
It's just not necessary. It's not going to be fresh anymore.
Yeah.
But that's kind of interesting. The idea that anybody has any fondness for this franchise still and would be willing to be like, I'll come to Scary Movie 7 to have something to say. Does that give us a glimpse at a better future?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe. It depends on who's involved in it.
I will warn you right now. Supposedly, David Zucker is involved.
Well, that's not encouraging whatsoever.
Especially not after 4 and 5.
Yeah, and 6.
And 6.
Or no, excuse me, no, just 4 and 5. This is
4
6
and 5.
coming.
And the coming 6.
Yeah, no, that's not encouraging.
I don't know if he's directing or writing or whatever, but they are still, it seems, considering him as a potential launching off point of like...
I don't know who you could name that I'd be like, well, that's encouraging. I have no idea.
There's just about nobody.
I guess we'll just have to see. I guess they're actors, so I'd be like, oh... Well, we'll see what they do.
And I will now just ask you on a pure speculation aspect, do you think we will see other familiar faces? Do you think Charlie Sheen will be back?
I don't.
Fresh
I'd be
start
surprised.
or continuation?
I think that if they can, they would probably want to get Anna Faris.
Yes,
I
think so. I think that would be wise. I think that she is the most known.
Right.
Are we going to see Doofy?
I don't think anybody cares about Doofy. I think we talk about Doofy a lot.
But are we going to see Ghostface?
Yeah, I think so.
You think they're going to bring back the Wazop mask?
Yes, I think that the most recognizable icons from Scary Movie are probably Anna Faris in general and the Wazop mask.
Okay. Yes, I think you're right about that. I do think that both of those things will be back.
I think probably,
because Scream is back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Supposedly, Scary Movie 5 was considered to be a parody of Scream 4, except Scream 4 did not do well.
Yes.
I do think that today we would see them try to revive Scary Movie by bringing Scream back into it.
I think so too. Yeah.
Do you think, therefore, because of Scream being in it, do you think we will get Doofy? Now that you view it through that specific lens of bringing in Ghostface.
I don't know. Perhaps a reference to Doofy, since he is our origin in this universe. I don't know.
If Scary Movie 6 had come out last year, or whenever Scream 6 came out, they could have had that shrine of things, and one of the things in the shrine would have been Doofy's vacuum cleaner. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's another thing I wrote. What if all the villains reunited for 6?
Oh my God.
Doofy, Chris Elliott, Tabitha, Zoltar, and Mama, all together in one movie. Can it happen?
This would almost be too much.
Your estimation.
No.
As an expert.
I don't think so.
In this subject matter.
I'd be extremely surprised. I think that most people don't have all those people at the top of mind, and they cannot, I don't think that they can bank on them knowing who the hell those people are. Although strong
I will never forget.
Strong Hand is top of mind.
People do know Strong Hand.
So I could see there being some involvement there.
You're right.
Now that I think about it.
Yep.
So actually, I'm going to amend my thing. I think people know Anna Faris, Wazop Mask, and Strong Hand.
I think that all three of those are contenders to come back.
Yeah.
Purely because they want to relaunch Strong so that they can make more money off of this.
Totally. Relaunch Strong Hand.
Nostalgia is still the opiate of the masses.
Yes.
This is how you relaunch. You bring back the Strong Hand guy. You bring back the Wazop
and
face,
the taters.
ghost face mask. The
Lest
taters.
we forget.
The taters have to be there.
Yeah.
It was said, I don't know if you did research on Scary Movie 5. Somebody associated with this production said Chris Elliott was on set for a number of days, but whatever he didn't make the final cut.
Yes.
Are you mad?
I know, that's shocking.
Are you mad?
That is shocking.
He was probably at the craft services table looking for his mashed potatoes.
He's probably elbow deep in taters.
Yeah, my germs. All right, everybody. Well, that brings us to the end of SCARMUTO.
Yes.
I want to call it SCARMUTO 2024 to imply that we'll do it again every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll be back next year to do this again.
Well, we did do Slashtober and then Slashtober rebooted.
Yeah, so you're never safe. I hope you know that. You're never safe.
Never.
But I feel elated because not only is it Halloween and it's a wonderful, scary day, and I hope that you all are having fun and putting on your little witch costumes, go get some candy.
Yeah.
But, of course, because SCARMUTO is completo.
It's done. We can watch whatever we want now.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to watch whatever I want in so long.
You're free.
Yeah.
You're free. You know what I think I'm going to say to Al?
What?
What do you want to watch?
That's a nice thing.
I think I might do that.
Yeah.
I think I might, and out with my time. Now that I have my life back.
Yeah, I know. SCARMUTO is really dominated.
SCARMUTO. How does it feel? We're at 100%.
Great. What a relief.
What a relief.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for surviving SCARMUTO with us.
Thank you very much.
Let us know if you did the SCARMUTO challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. How you fared. As we said, you can go to patreon.com/GTTUpod if you would like to support the podcast and check out our second weekly podcast, The Netherworld Dispatch. You can follow us on social media at GTTUpod. And you can also follow us individually. I am at Chillin' Kristen.
I am at The Myth Traveler. So, au revoir to SCARMUTO.
That's right. Bye-bye.
Until we meet again.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch. We'll see you next week, everybody, for something different.
Yeah.
But until that time comes, we must travel.
Back to the Netherworld go we. We did it.
Was it worth it? We came up with a funny word months ago.
I know. And then based a whole thing around it when we didn't realize that there were 5 weeks in October and not 4.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it.
what a ride.
SCARMUTO 2024, baby. See you next year. Ha! Whoa.
Happy Halloween.